everybody? This is DC coming to you. Welcome to the next episode of Let's Talk Movies, people. Pardon me, excuse me. You had to start every episode off with a cocktail or a beer, while some of us is still quarantined. This is for the people that's quarantined. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Every day is happy hour. What's in here? Y'all don't even want to know. Y'all don't need to know. Just put it that way. Let's get right into it. Today was dedicated. This series is dedicated to the war vets. And war is hell on earth. That's basically the best way I could describe it. And it's something nobody wants to go through, man. One of the hells on earth that you don't know if you're gonna make it out alive or not. You gotta see horrible stuff. You gotta see your fellow soldiers and men that you trained with, pass away out of your life, disappear off this planet, and seeing their bodies blown up many different ways. Some of them survive, some of them don't. Half of their bodies taken off, arms, legs. It does a mental thing to you. And the vets that served in the war, I give my respect, go to you 100%. It don't matter what you did in the war. It could have been combat, could have been serving, could have been a photographer, could have been a cook, it could have been in the Navy on the warships. You served this country, you know what I'm saying, and you did what you had to do. You played your part until serving. So everybody got their personal issues on war, and that just, I have to give respect to the vets on that. But that goes into the topic of the day. Let me get comfortable right here. Was my top 10 war movies. To all them other movies that was made throughout the time, Disney movies, that they did, Maleficent and all that stuff like that. All copied from The Lord of the Rings that been in, they teach this book throughout colleges and all that stuff like that. And that's how famous it became. You gotta picture it, folks. You fighting against an evil force, like a demon that control men through these rings, you know what I'm saying? And how manipulating that is. And it got a lot of realism in it, because you gotta think about it, like materialistic things is what men have always been obsessed with. Gold, money, gold, and stuff like that. Materialistic things like that. Money, gold, even to this day. And that's what controls us, people. And these evil forces around us know that, and they use that, to persuade us. And Lord of the Rings is all about that. But you fighting against orcs. Like, come on. Like, it is. You got the humans fighting against orcs. They fighting against trolls. They fighting against dragons. It don't get no realer than that in the war, folks. Imagine you going against an army of orcs and dragons. Regular men. You don't got no chance at all. And the only thing you got is your faith, man. Your faith and your ability to believe in this one hobbit. I like to go with Jarhead. Jarhead was like one of the new Millennium War movies. I don't remember a whole lot about Jarhead, but I know the realism was crazy. And from what I remember, one of the modern war that we're going through now, and this new Millennium War, the way they do things, the tactics they use, the machine guns they use now, the type of artillery they use, the methods, and the way that they go into war, that was different from back in the day. "300" man was crazy war movie based on a true story. These 300 Spartans that was going against these Persians, and it looked like they ain't had a chance, but they didn't. But they fought with guts and they fought with honor, and the special effects was crazy, slow motion, real gory, and they had the biggest heart of all. The way they was trained, the Spartans, the way they was trained when they was, from the time they was little all the way up until they was grown men and had no fear. Number seven. Number seven, folks, I gotta go with Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket, one of my other top war movies. I like it, man, because it starts from the beginning, what a lot of war movies don't do. It started way Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick, that director that he known for giving you not everything at one time. He builds it up. He builds up the action and brings you towards it slowly. And that's what I love about his movies. He do with The Shining and all that. But in this movie, start out in the training, how the guys' mental had to be before they got into the war. And he had the big dude from Law and Order. He was in there. You know, he wound up killing himself. The war had got him crazy. He was gonna be a killer. Like. And number six, I gotta go with Braveheart. Braveheart definitely I like movies too. What I love about war movies too is the history. That's the third thing I forgot to mention. That's probably I ain't gonna say third. I'm gonna say it's the number one, and I forgot to mention that, and I apologize for that because I don't want to focus on gore and violence as you know, making it seem like I got a real sick mind like I do, but not sick to the point where I love gore, and you know, on some demonic type of stuff. It's the history more than anything. When I watch war movies, I watch it for the history, that time period, the way they fought war, the way it was fought, the way it was thought out, the tactics and everything like that, and the time period pieces. That's what I love about the war movies the most, and the directors that really give you that visual and set you back in that day is the ones that really did their job when they do a good war movie. And that's what makes a real good movie, to make it real as possible by making them wear the outfits they wore, the ammunition, and all the trials and tribulations they had to go through, and their environment. The environment is real important. So, a true story. Soldiers that got left behind, it was only a few of them, and they had to fight against like different tribes in Africa, the militant dudes over there, and you know, the helicopters was getting shot down, you know what I mean, one by one, and it was the last ones left, and they had to fight in this small area, just a few of them, man. It was crazy. Like, imagine putting yourself in that situation. How would you get out of it? I love American Sniper. I thought it was a good movie based on a true story. It tells you the outcome of war, how it messes you up mentally, man. They teach you to be a killer. You don't supposed to have no remorse, no sympathy. Once you out there in that field, you know, you love your wife, you love your kids, but that's not the thing that's gonna get you through that. Like, you have to block all that out. The real world, you got to leave behind you and focus on the hell that you in at that time. And that's where you are at. Number three, Brian De Palma, man. One of my favorite directors. You know, he did Scarface, Carlito's Way, Dress to Kill, movies like that. Casualties of War with Sean Penn and Michael J. Fox. Sean Penn, excuse me, always played crazy. He was good at playing crazy parts. And I like the movies when he played crazy or a bad guy anyway. He played crazy in this movie. And I heard when I watched a documentary on Brian De Palma, he said they had beef. Like, Michael J. Fox was like the outsider on the set. And they looked at him like Family Ties, you know, the preppy, bougie actor, you know, he ain't had no backbone. So, like, later in the movie, he was getting a little hard. If y'all watched the movie Casualties of War, and he started becoming a little harder, and they said that was real. That was like no scripted, put in the strip. And Stanley Kubrick, I mean, not Stanley Kubrick, Brian De Palma sit back and let it play. Like, he said it worked for the movie. He let it get, you know, he let it kept going. You know, the directors love stuff like that, to bring out the more intense moments in the movie. And the movie was great. It was all about them and the war. They raped this girl. And Michael J. Fox ain't want to rape her. He wound up telling everybody that did it. They all got in trouble. Of course, he was looked at as a snitch. But later, you know, he was considered a hero too later. But you need to watch Casualties of War, people, if you ain't see that. A real good movie. Um, Number two on my list. Number two, you know it was coming. Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan, definitely one of my favorite war movies. The realism in it, crazy. It was a long movie, and I love long movies. You know, all of it to go back to give a message to a brother, man, and then just tell you the courage that people take. What they will go through hell. You know, when it comes to family members, and when it comes to somebody you love, you will go through hell. You know, do what you got to do for your service for another brethren that they called you on a battlefield, and that's what it was all about. Tom Hanks' character, and a lot of stars was in this movie, man. Van Diesel was in it. Um, you know, Matt Damien, and a lot of other people too, man. There's a lot, like a long list of people that was in this movie, and the realism was crazy. Dude took his helmet off, get shot right in the head, and then you could tell a lot of this was filmed from the director, you know, and the people that put this together watched them old films. My number one war movie of all time has to be Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Definitely, man, that realism, the visuals, everything, man. Just showing war, hell on earth. It was like you was literally in hell, literally. And yeah, the young Lawrence Fishburne, he was in that movie. And I think he was like in his late teens, maybe 18, 21, something like that. Maybe younger than that. And then you had Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen's dad, was in there going after Marlon Brando, which was the boy that went AWOL. You know, trapped over there in that island, man. Went crazy. Show you how war really fuck your head up. And they made him like a god over there. You know, he became a prisoner of war. He became like a god over there. And that movie, man, definitely Apocalypse Now is to me, one of my top movies that show you definitely hell on earth and the effects of war. The real true effects of war. But there you have it, my top 10 war movies. So give me a like. Definitely give me a like. If you can do that for me, I would definitely appreciate it. Give me your top 10 war movies. Put it right down. Subscribe to that button below. Subscribe every time I do Let's Talk Movies or anything I do on my YouTube channel. You'll be the first. Get a notification. Give me a like. Give me a top 10 war movies. And tune in next time when I'm going to talk about my top 10 robbery/heist movies. I know people look forward to that. If you're a fan of the robbery/heist movies, look out real soon for that. DC, the man lyrical. Peace, everybody.